How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. Today we are going to be fixing some things on the old international dump truck here. First things first is I either have a bad rear reverse light, like the white bulb, or the fixture itself is bad. Not really sure, so we're gonna have to open that up. I have a new one if we have to replace it. Hopefully it'll just be that white bulb there, because I noticed it's not going on when in reverse. The next thing we're going to be addressing are the clearance lights up top here. I don't know if you can tell, but they are in fact on. Well, at least those four are on. This one has never quite worked, so I don't know if it's a bad bulb or what's going on in there. So we're gonna open those up and replace them with LED lights. And then thirdly, we are going to be addressing the horn on this thing. The horn is just absolutely terrible. Let me show you what it sounds like here. So here's the horn. It's not very loud. I don't know if you can hear that. So we're going to be addressing that horn because out in traffic and stuff, I don't know, it just doesn't quite do it for me. Let me show you what we got to fix this stuff. So to fix these couple things, one starting out in the back, I got a brand new tail light. I might just be robbing the bulb out of this and save the actual fixture and the lens in case I ever need it. But yeah, I have a whole new fixture just in case. We got brand new LED Sylvania cool white, bulbs for the clearance lights up top there. And then we got this, it's just a cheap air horn off Amazon. I think it was only like 26, 30 bucks, something like that. But it actually had pretty good reviews. And there were a bunch of videos on the reviews of people hooking it up and then blowing, what it sounded like. And it sounded actually pretty good for not having to have a air canister or a tank or anything to power it. It's, I don't know, I haven't even taken it out yet, but it's metal, chrome. I'm definitely not gonna be mounting it on the roof because I don't wanna have to drill holes in the roof, but we're gonna see if we can get that hooked up as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say this bulb looks pretty toasted to me. So I'm gonna take the new one out of this fresh light here and see if that fixes it. Because everything, if you look inside here, looks pretty clean. So I don't think has really anything to do with the connections. So let me try removing this new bulb. So this is what a fresh bulb looks like, obviously. Let's stick that in there. Okay, let me go throw the truck in reverse and we'll see if we have a light. All right, so since I'm by myself, I analyzed the footage and it appears as if that light is now working. So I'm going to call that good. Obviously these, little tail lights don't do all that much, especially because I have, as you guys probably saw in the other video, these bigger aux beam reverse lights, but I don't know, I'm sure that's probably a legal requirement to have those as well. So let's put this cover back on and move on to the next thing. All right, now this new light fixture, I'm just gonna save that. I'll get a new bulb for it and I'll save it, on my part shelf, just in case one of these ever goes out. Actually, it wouldn't actually work for the driver's side because this one has a double pigtail. There's power going in on the left side, and then on the right side, it pigtails over to actually supply power over to this one. So if this tail light ever decides to stop working, I have a nice replacement right here. Okay, moving right along, I'm gonna start changing out these clearance lights. This bulb is pretty well tarnished. You can see that black color there. So, no good. That's not gonna happen with an LED. These said they were direct replacements. These bulbs that I'm taking out were a number 168. So these are compatible bulbs for number 168. And they just push in there like that, so. Let's see if that lights up. Yep, we're in business. So, I don't know if you can tell on the camera. Oh, actually you definitely can. That bulb on the right is what I just replaced with the LED. The center 3 bulbs are on. The one all the way on the left has never worked. So we're gonna be figuring out what's going on with that one on the far left, but huge difference between the LED and the incandescent. So I'm gonna get the rest of these swapped out. Okay, on to the last one. This is the one that's never worked, so we will find out why. I was gonna guess that there was no bulb in it, but there is. But this bulb, compared to the others, is much blacker. So I'm guessing that this one just fully blew and the others never quite did. Well, 2 out of the 3 are on, which is 1 less than we started out with. So something's wrong here. Oh, apparently these bulbs have a top and a bottom. So I had these 2 in wrong. Now they all work. Okay, so we are in business. 5 working clearance lights up top, LED bulbs. Got the LED headlights I put in last time, LED reverse lights, and we got 2 working tail lights in the back. So now we're gonna move on to the horn here. I don't even know where the horn is on this thing, so let's take a look. Let me shut off the lights. So, not really sure where the horn is on this thing. I guess beeping it would be a good way to find out, but I don't really have anybody here to beep it for me. I don't see it up front here. Oh, there it is. There it is. On the other side, right over there. All right, guys, so I just got back from the auto parts store. I had to pick up an inline fuse holder, some fuses, and a push button switch for this horn. I did not realize it did not come with that stuff, but no big deal. So now I've been reading through the directions. This thing seems pretty simple. I'm going to be hooking it up, obviously, to its own switch here, since I discovered that the truck actually has 2 horns, one being right there and one being right there. Now, granted, they are not all that loud, but they do work, and the fact that there's 2 of them would make it a little bit more complicated to hook up this air horn directly to them and directly to the truck right here. So as you can hear, they work, just not super loud when the truck is on and the hood is closed and everything. So this is going to be a little supplemental horn, and I'm thinking that I'm going to keep it simple and mount it right about here. There's already an existing hole right there, and I can just mount it here, nice and close to the battery. Plenty of open metal for me to drill through here on this battery box. Nice short wires, and they'll go right up to the cab, kind of like Chris helped me mount the reverse lights. So I'm gonna get this thing mocked up, and we'll be underway here. Mocked up. Now I could run the air compressor, which just gets basically this bolt just goes right in there, and it, you know, gets attached on kind of wherever you want. So I believe the air tube comes off here. So maybe I will mount this something like that. So, or like this. It's the air tube. It says in the instructions, shorter the air tube, the better. Cool. Air compressor, horn, mocked up, mounted up. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so we got a positive and a negative side. Positive, negative side to the compressor here. So I got my little spade terminals, which fit right on there very conveniently. So I'm going to make up some power leads that go from the compressor directly to the battery, and then we're gonna go from the battery to the switch in the cab. Okay, so we got our little switch right here, which I'm thinking it's gonna go somewhere around here. Don't know, this looks a bit smaller than what I remembered. Just knocked the panel out, got the old switch out for the rear backup lights. Now I can take the Dremel and cut out a hole appropriate for this smaller switch. So let's go do that. Well, I just way overcomplicated that. I got a little ahead of myself. Obviously, all I had to do was drill a hole. It has that screw-on threaded part. I was thinking that it was more like the type for the light that fits in by pressure, but I guess it pays to look at the packaging before you start cutting and drilling. But whatever, it still works. Hole in there. There's the button, so let's get back to it. Okay guys, so we got cut off yesterday, and yesterday turned into night pretty quickly, but I just wanted to come out here and do a little update. We got the air horns all plumbed up. all wired up. Let me unlock the truck here and show you what we got going on inside. Everything was cleaned up a little bit. Now, I obviously made the mistake here when I was mounting the button. I got this cheap button over at Advanced Auto. Not really happy with it. It definitely works, but I'm just not happy with it in general. So I ended up finding a switch extremely similar to this that lights up when turned on. I don't know if you can tell, but that does light up blue. And it's for a horn. So it's actually momentary. So you'll just push it, and then, you know, as soon as you let it go, it'll come back, just like, you know, on a regular horn. It doesn't like stay on or off. I also ordered a couple of switch panel cover-up plates because I'm going to end up cutting out the whole panel here and the whole panel here, and then I'll just put in 2 of these cover-up plates. That way it looks a little bit better, and I'll probably end up installing the new horn button either in this one, or that one, because it's the same size as this. So without further ado, I will show you how this horn sounds. So, as you could probably tell, it definitely works. You know, it sounds pretty good in my opinion. I will show you guys how I went about wiring it up, because I think that's where I kind of stopped filming last night, as it was getting pretty dark and I just wanted to get the thing done. But it's not, overall, it's not too complicated to wire in. I would definitely recommend getting a high quality switch. This one that I picked up at Advanced Auto was super cheap. It's already kind of broken. That's why I have another higher quality one coming. I'll put a link for that down in the description, as well as the horn, and if I can find it, the fuse holder that I got for it too. Those are the only like 3 extra things you really need to buy that it didn't come with. But I think, you know, we'll see how it holds up. Right now it's working. Over time, while I go out driving on the road with it and stuff and start working the truck, we'll see how it holds up. But I think the most important part about that is that you angle the trumpet of the horn facing down. That way any water that goes up it will also drain down. And I'll show you the wiring and a couple other little things that I did to hopefully prolong the longevity of this $25 Amazon air horn. So I just took the step off and the battery box cover off here. But as you can see, there's really only 2 wires that come off the compressor itself, positive and a negative. And I did go ahead and fill them in. I don't know if you can see in there, but with dielectric grease, because, you know, they're going to be exposed. Now, everywhere I had to make a wired connection, whether it was with a pan connector or a butt connector or anything. I used dielectric grease and heat shrink tubing to go around it. So you'll see heat shrink tubing all in here, you know, on my connectors to the battery and everything like that. And then where it had to pass through metal, I used wire loom. So these wires right here are for my backup lights. The pink wire here and black wire here is for the horn itself. So these all run up into the cab and into the button. Pretty simple system, definitely not too complicated. And then it's just a simple air line that comes supplied with the horn to go right to the trumpet itself. So all in all, again, for a $25 horn, works pretty well. All right, guys, we are back the next day. As I mentioned, not really happy with this cheap little plastic button thing here. So I went ahead and ordered one that's going to match my rear light switch here, and it came. So here it is for the horn. Instead of there being an on-off, it's momentary, so it's spring-loaded, just like a regular horn. It came with all of the wiring. I'm pretty sure I have it hooked up right. It's a little bit more complicated because this switch does like light up, I guess. Like this will light up blue to kind of match the blue on there. But it came with these directions. So I think I have it wired up right. So I'm going to take out this old switch and we're going to wire in this new switch. Hopefully it's not too hard. Okay, so I got the switch here. As you can see, this light is illuminated. So I'm gonna actually make these real connections, not just using these, fan connectors or tab connectors. But if I put the ground to metal right up here, and I push the switch, it works. So we know we're good to go. So I can just finish up these connections, and then we will go ahead and cut out some nicer holes in this panel here. So back to work. All right, so obviously I didn't do too good of a job on either of these holes. So now I'm gonna clean them up. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but I actually ordered some covers that will cover these up. I mean, one of them is gonna get used, but it'll cover up the other open one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this the way that I should have the first time and score it. And hopefully we'll get nice clean punch out here. Okay, there we go. Nice, crisp, clean cutouts. Well guys, here is the final finished product. Two nice neat switches, one open hole, but as I said, I have the little cover that just presses in there coming. It should actually be here later today. All right, one of the last final things I'm doing here is got these covers go into the hole here, but obviously it doesn't fit like perfect, so I'm just gonna run a bead of Gorilla Glue around the outside of it. Okay, that should hold itself now, and it looks a little bit neater. Okay, final thing is I got one of these car like garbage bins. I put one in my truck a couple days ago. I actually ordered two of them. It's been working out pretty well, but I just find like I get like food wrappers and water bottles and stuff in here, and then they're on the floor, and next thing you know, the truck's a mess. So I've spent the time vacuuming it out yesterday and cleaned it up a little bit. So got this garbage bin for it, along with some little garbage bags to keep everything nice and neat. And it's got a little strap to like hold it if you wanted to put it in your car. But yeah, there we go, little garbage bin. And got these little Chinese garbage bags. So here's just a slightly closer view here. This thing works pretty good. You know, it's not huge, but so I got the little garbage bags. So when it fills up, I can just pop the bag out and put in a new one. So I'm gonna call this project done. Lights work, horn obviously works, looks really good. Again, this was the Zone Tech air horn, 12 volt, you know, no compressor tank or anything needed, just a little compressor there. We also put in the LED clearance lights up top, and we went ahead and we fixed the Reverse lights back here. Those are the Grote, you know, just standard commercial truck tail lights. So all in all, slowly but surely, we are making this international truck. Well, I'm making it my own and making it fully legal and compliant, fixing a bunch of little stuff. Overall, it's a really good truck. It's been really good so far. Now that it has the new transmission and clutch in it, it's gonna be even better. So I'm really excited to put it to work. It needs a good bath, but it's supposed to pour rain the next couple days, so I'll wait till another nice day to do that. But for now, I think that's gonna wrap up the video. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this stuff, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Questions, comments, or feedback, put it down in the comment section. I'll also put a link to all the products that I use in the description below. But for now, I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here next time.